I'm Starborn. Remember, to be a star, you have to shine your own light, follow your own path, not be afraid of the darkness, because that's when stars shine brightest. If you've been watching my website, starborninstitute.org, you'd already know that the title of tonight's show is Significant Changes. And that's what you can be looking forward to this week. And that is because yesterday we had a fabulous new moon at 1 degree of Aries. So it's very early in the sign, and that sign was absolutely loaded. And Aries rules new beginnings. And so the sun and the new moon were at 1 degree, and they were conjuncting another planet, Mercury, the planet of the mind and of communication, at 5 degrees. So these three planets were all in close alignment, which means that some significant change could happen in your life due to better communication, because that's what Mercury rules. And then later on in the sign at 17 degrees is Jupiter, the planet of goodness and benevolence. So with these 4 planets just in the sign of Aries, and because it's a dynamic fire sign, and there aren't any other planets in fire signs, but boy, these 4 planets can really pack a wallop right now and get you off to a new beginning that could result in a significant change for you. And since Mercury, the planet of the mind, is involved, it simply means that you could have a brilliant idea right now, or a great suggestion for something, and it could turn out to be a lifesaver for someone else. And the reason why is that if you get out and you communicate something new that you want to do, or something new that you've been thinking about, and you're wanting to sort of get underway, you could find yourself talking to a person or to some people who are in sad need of a new idea. In other words, they could be just the right people to talk to, because they may have tried something in the past that had failed or had not met their high expectations. And so they would be in need of some other plan or some other idea. And if you came along and told them what yours was, they may be very appreciative of your idea or of your good suggestion. So this is a wonderful time for you to speak up. And it's not like you have to have the answers to everything, but if you have a good idea and you present it to somebody that needs one right now, then as they are willing to back you and you're willing to put your new idea into motion, it could be mutually beneficial to both of you. And the reason why I'm suggesting that both parties could be pretty happy with your great idea is because Jupiter is in Aries. And Jupiter is a planet of abundance and goodness and expansion, and it's in the sign of new beginnings. So I hope you give that a try, because there are a variety of ways that you could make some sort of significant change in your life right now. And that is because it's not just of this wonderful new moon in Aries, but it is also that there are other planets that are changing signs right now. And that will have an influence, I hope, on a significant change that could be coming up for you very soon. And the reason why is that Venus has now moved out of Aries, and it is in the sign of Taurus at 5 degrees. It's exactly sextile that Mercury in Aries at 5 degrees. But Venus is at home in the sign it rules. It rules 2 signs, Taurus, which is a fixed financial earth sign, and it rules Libra, which is a cardinal air sign. And so when it's in Libra, it's ruling peace and partnership and negotiations and compromises and treaties and the law and all legal contracts. But when it's in Taurus, a fixed financial sign, and because that Venus is joining Uranus, which is already in Taurus and is a planet of volatility and sudden surprising change, it simply means that once again, these 2 wonderful planets in Taurus are the only 2 in an earth sign. In other words, there's nothing in Virgo and there's nothing in Capricorn. So their power is It's not being fortified, but it is very powerful since Venus is the ruler. And so that simply means that this might be a time when you want to realign your investments in some way, particularly in light of sudden fluctuations in the value of your investments, which could be happening to everybody or has happened recently. But in order to create a significant change in your life, you might have been thinking of something a little pricey that you'd like to buy or you'd like to invest in. And so you may decide now with Venus in Taurus, which is very happy there, that you want to sell one investment in order to purchase another. And you could really do that. That would indicate a significant change in your life. So what does Taurus rule? Well, it rules high-priced real estate. It also rules commercial real estate. And it rules high-priced art and gourmet food and wine and expensive cars. So, I mean, take your pick. As long as you were able to change out of one investment and put your money into the purchase of another, you could be pretty happy with that right now. And that would indicate a significant change for you. So good luck on that. Then there is another planet that's changing signs, and it is Pluto. Pluto has finally left Capricorn, where it has been for years, and it has now moved up to the 0 degree, the very start of Aquarius. And Aquarius is the sign of the future. But in this case, it's a little different. Remember, the 4 planets in Aries were the only ones in a fire sign, and the 2 planets in Taurus are the only ones in an earth sign. They're very strong, though. But with Pluto in Aquarius, a fixed air sign, it is now trining Mars in Gemini, another air sign. And together, those 2 planets are trining the sign of Libra as well. And so this is a time when you could make a significant change. And once again, it may have something to do with your finances. And that is because Pluto and Mars, which are trining each other right now, are the rulers of Scorpio. And Scorpio is the other fixed financial sign. But Scorpio doesn't rule necessarily the money that you make and what you invested in. Scorpio rules money coming in from other resources. So this is a time, since Scorpio's rulers are trining each other, when you may have a significant change, and a nice one, in your financial resources. Maybe there is some more money coming in one way or another. Scorpio rules credit, debt, loans. It rules taxes, and it also rules insurance proceeds, and it rules inheritance, and it rules grants. So there could be money coming in from different sources right now that could really help you out, and that could result in a significant change for you. Probably a pretty good one, since the rulers of Scorpio are trining each other. So this is a good time for you to think about moving forward. That's what Aries represents. First of all, it's a fire sign. It likes to get up and get going. It's ruled by Mars. So it may take some extra energy or some extra effort of yours, but you really could make a significant change right now. It could either be of great benefit to someone else as well as to yourself, and so that would be mutually beneficial, or it could simply mean that you want to realign your investments in a way to perhaps sell one thing and purchase another, make yourself a little happier. Or it can be that you can just see some sort of an increase now in your financial resources, where there can be a little bit more money or a little bit better credit terms or something like that coming to you. So all of that is great. However, into each life a little rain must fall. And remember that Mars in Gemini that's being beautifully backed up by Pluto now? Well, that Mars is getting in a little trouble all on its own. And that is because Mars is at 28 degrees of Gemini. It's about to change out of this sign, but it hasn't done that yet. It's at 28 degrees, and it is very harshly squaring Saturn and Neptune in Pisces. And it's squaring Neptune, the ruler of Pisces, almost exactly, because Neptune is at 25 and Mars is at 28. And so there is the possibility, since Pisces rules dreams, that, you know, a bubble could burst right now, somewhere in your life. And it might represent a dream that doesn't quite pass a reality check. That you know, you got to check a little more on that just to make sure it's the dream that you really always thought it was, because you may discover some or uncover some hidden truth about something you'd been dreaming about or someone you'd been dreaming about. And so you'd want to take another look at that, and that dream may not pass a reality test right now. But don't worry, because Mars is moving on very quickly, and it will enter Cancer, and then it will trine Saturn in Pisces. And that could indicate a better dream coming along for you, something better. So you have, you know, you can look up and think about that as well too. So anyway, what does this idea of a significant change mean to all 12 of the sun signs? Aries. Well, Aries, I think you're sitting pretty. And that's because your sign is loaded with planets. The sun and the new moon are there. They were at 1 degree yesterday, so they're still in your sign, Aries. And they're conjuncting Mercury, which is at 5 degrees, and Jupiter, that really good luck planet, is still in your sign at 17 degrees, so it's in the middle of your sign. It's still got a ways to go. It doesn't leave your sign until May, Aries. And so this is definitely a time when there could be a significant change in your life, and you might be responsible for it. In other words, remember, if you have a brilliant idea or a great suggestion that you've been thinking about and you want to suggest that to somebody or promote it in some way, this is the time to do it, Aries. You really need to move forward on something new. And it can be that whoever you're talking to is in need of a great idea right now. Maybe they have been struggling with a past failure that they don't know how to solve. And it could be your great idea or your good suggestion that really gets the ball rolling on something that helps them. Well, it's helping you too, Aries, because it's your idea. You get the credit for it. And so something can be very mutually beneficial, but it can represent a significant change in your life right now, Aries, and it certainly would be for the best. Even though there are no planets in Leo or Sagittarius to back up your sign, I don't think you quite need that right now, Aries. You've got 4 great planets in your sign. So I wouldn't wait at all. I wouldn't put something off right now, Aries. I think you should strike while the iron is hot. And by that I mean communicate. Remember, it's Mercury that's conjuncting the sun and new moon in your sign. And Mercury is the planet of communication and ideas and thought. And so don't doubt yourself for a minute, Aries. And you know, I would talk to more than one person. I would get out and talk a lot right now. Or send somebody an important email. Or just put out promotional materials somewhere around. You have nothing to lose, Aries, and everything to gain. So I hope you go for it, because it could represent a significant change in your life that would really be even better than you think it would be. It would end up making you even happier than you're thinking of right now. And that's because Jupiter's in your sign as well. So I would go forward, Aries. I don't think there should be any reason for you to hold back now. You should try to do or contact people that can help you get a good idea off the ground right now, because it will be very rewarding for you. Okay, what does it mean to a Taurus? Taurus. Well, you too are pretty lucky, Taurus. First of all, there's 4 planets in Aries right behind your sun sign. So in the background of your life, there's a lot of light. What is it on? Something new. Because Aries rules new beginnings. And so there's something very new, because the sun, the new moon, Mercury, and Jupiter are all right behind your sun sign, Taurus. And the best part of it all is that Venus, your own ruler, has just moved into your sign, and it is at 5 degrees. It is exactly sextile Mercury at 5 degrees of Aries, and it sextile the sun and the new moon that are 1 degree yesterday. So this is just a perfect time, Taurus, for you to do something with your money. Do something good with your money. And, you know, a Taurus is a hard worker. So it's not like you don't owe yourself something, Taurus. You probably do owe yourself some little reward for how hard you have been working in the past. And you have had to endure some sudden fluctuations in the value of your investments in the last 5 years while Uranus has been in your sign. Well, it has 2 more years of being in your sign. So, you know, I would try to make myself a little more financially secure right now, Taurus, if you can, because these are uncertain economic times. But Venus is in your sign, and it's your ruler. Your sign is the sign of the good provider. And so you might want to sell one investment and turn around and purchase another, but it might be for the benefit of somebody that you really love or care about. And that would be just fine. But along the way, Taurus, you know, you should benefit from it yourself as well. Because a Taurus is never really broke. Taurus has things around that are of value. And if you wanted to sell something of value and even treat yourself by purchasing something new, I think you may have had that on your mind for a while, and this is a perfect time to do it, Taurus. You may as well. In uncertain economic times, you can't exactly count on the value of things going up, and you really want to try to prevent them from going down. So this might be a good time to switch out of an investment that looks a little shaky and put your money into something else that is more your heart's desire. Because you could do it. You could be very successful handling your own money right now, Taurus, so I hope you go for it. Okay, what does it mean to a Gemini? Gemini. Well, Gemini, it's sort of like good news, bad news. And the good news is that Mars is in your sign still at 28 degrees, which means it's going to change out of your sign real quickly. So that will be a big relief to you, Gemini, because it's brought worries and tension into your life. Not necessarily that you've caused, but it's been around you. It could even have brought some jolting surprise that you were not prepared for and were not very happy with. But on the other hand, now Pluto has moved into Aquarius. It's at 0 degrees, and it is trining, it's widely trining that Mars in your sign. And Pluto and Mars are the rulers of Scorpio. Scorpio rules money coming in from any other source. So you might be in line for an inheritance, Gemini, or you might be in line for some sort of money that's coming in from any other source that you have been exposed to or communicating with or involved with, or there could be some more money around for you to instigate a significant change that would be very good for your future. Remember, Pluto is in the sign of the future. But Pluto is a planet of deep psychological transformation and change. And so it can be that you are thinking of making a pretty big change. So it would be a significant change. That's the title of the show. And it would have something to do with additional financial resources. So you may have had some money that you've been investing in for a while, and maybe it's gone up. Maybe there's more money there. Or there could be an inheritance, or there could be some additional insurance proceeds coming in. Or you could be happily surprised that you don't owe as many taxes as you thought you did. That would be nice. That's sort of a stretch, but still it would be nice. Anyway, there is going to be some sort of favorable, significant change in your life, Gemini. And it involves your future plans. And I'm thinking that the money will be there for your future plans. So, you'd still want to watch your budget and be careful, but the money really will be there. Now, remember I said, into each life a little rain must fall. Well, that same Mars in your sign, but remember it's leaving real quickly, is squaring Saturn and Neptune in Pisces, which means a bubble could burst. And that bubble could have something to do with a dream that you'd had. But does that dream pass the reality test right now, Gemini? I'm not so sure it does. And so that might be why you're wanting to make a significant change in your future, because some dream is not passing a reality test now. But it could be a dream that you had sort of dreamed big about. But when it comes time to passing a reality test, that simply means that you have to examine all the facts. And with Mars squaring Neptune right now, it can be that there is going to be some sort of a cover-up that is revealed, or information that you didn't know about something, and that's why the bubble could burst, or a dream may not pass a reality test right now. But no worries, Gemini, don't worry about that at all, because a better dream can be on its way. And that's because Mars is going to leave your sign. Well, that's good, but it's going into Cancer, and then it will begin to trine that Saturn and that Neptune. And that simply means a better dream is coming. A better dream will come true. So don't worry about one bubble bursting, Gemini, if it does, because there's a better one coming. Okay, what does it mean to a Cancer? Cancer. This is a time, Cancer, when there's only two planets in a water sign. They are Saturn and Neptune in Pisces, and they do trine your sun. And they're going to continue to trine your sun for a long time. Saturn will trine your sun for 2 to 3 years. And I haven't checked when Neptune leaves Pisces, but it's a real slow mover. It'll be there for a while. And so with these two planets trining your sun, Cancer, and with Mars about to enter your sun sign and trining them, this is a time when you may be faced with something that represents a significant change that may have something to do with a family matter or a move, because that's what your sign rules. And, it rules a residential real estate. And so you might be involved with that. I think that it could work out pretty well. The money would probably be there. And that's because Scorpio's rulers, Pluto in Aquarius and Mars in Gemini right now, are trining each other, which indicates that a significant change can come about for someone. I don't know if it's you, Cancer, or somebody else in your family, but it could result in additional financial resources, sort of to help them out, or so that they could move or make some sort of a purchase that they probably really need. And so, in a way, you would benefit too, Cancer. You particularly would benefit from knowing the truth about something behind the scenes that had been kept from you or hidden from you. And if you had been waiting and waiting and waiting for some sort of answer to come, or response, or something that had to do with a dream of yours, and nothing had happened, now is a time when you really could learn the truth about something behind the scenes. And if a dream of yours can't pass the reality test, and so a bubble bursts, all I'm saying is lucky you, Cancer, because that just means something better's coming. And just remember that Neptune and Saturn are going to be trining your sun for years. And they will bring you the real truth about something. They'll bring you the real truth about your dreams. They'll bring you the real truth about what's going on behind the scenes. They'll bring you the real truth about your own limitations and weaknesses and how you can solve them and get over them. And right now with Pluto in Aquarius, the future is accented for everybody, but unfortunately it's only the truth about the future. It doesn't have so much to do with, fantastic dreams, but it has to do with the truth about how we're living today, or how much energy we have, or what the state of our health is, or how many dreams we want to follow right now. Maybe we don't need all of them, but you'll be able to understand what is most important to you, Cancer. And it will be sort of the real truth about something. And you will benefit from that. And you'll learn that sometime in the next 2 or 3 years. You'll learn the real truth, either about yourself or about someone else. And you will benefit from knowing that and be sort of a better person for it. So good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Leo? Well, Leo, this new moon in Aries, it's a winner for you, Leo. And that's because there are 4 planets trining your sun. The sun, which is your ruler, and the new moon, and Mercury, and Jupiter in Aries are all trining your sun. So, are you going to sort of be in a position to get up and go, Leo? Yes, you are. And so you could travel. You could go on a long-distance trip. You could be involved with higher education. You could be concerned about international organizations or big topics that deal with international law. Or you could be involved with the courts or following some sort of a court case in one way or another. Maybe that would be of interest to you. But since your sign does rule leadership, and it's a fire sign, being trined by 4 planets in another fire sign, I would say, Leo, that you don't have a moment to waste. And you don't have any excuses either anymore, Leo. You have got to go forward right now. And that is because the way to initiate a significant change in your life is to move forward. And that means you don't stay stuck in yesterday. Even if you'd like to be stuck in yesterday, you can't do that anymore, Leo, because there's so much energy among the fire signs right now. And so there really isn't a whole lot stopping you. And you could go even a little overboard, Leo, particularly in spending money. And Leo is the sign of extravagance. You may feel you have a good reason to spend the money, and it could be on others as well, or something that's involving love in one way or another. That would be nice. But just remember, Venus and Uranus in Taurus are squaring your sun. And Venus is very strong in Taurus. It rules that sign. So it can be that if you get a little generous with your money, somebody could come along and say, well, could you give me more? Could you do this? Could you? I mean, there could be no end to that, Leo. So you have to be a little bit careful and watch your budget if it's at all possible right now. I think you're in a good mood, and I think that you are anticipating a new beginning, and that you're really ready for it. You're all ready to sort of say goodbye to yesterday and to go right on into the future. One of the best things that has happened to you lately, Leo, is that Saturn moved out of Aquarius, where it had been opposing your sun for 2.5 to 3 years, and now it's in Pisces. Okay, but it's real early in Pisces, but still it's not in Aquarius anymore. And Pluto has moved into Aquarius and is now beginning to oppose your sun. And remember that Venus and Uranus and Taurus are squaring your sun. So the one thing that you have to be a little bit careful about, Leo, even though you have a very sunny disposition and you sort of want everybody to be happy, you could run up against some real power players right now. And either they have a lot of money or they have a lot of power, and you wouldn't want to ruffle anybody's feathers right now, Leo. So try to be your charming best, but try not to overdo it too much either, because people could take advantage of your generosity. And Leos like to be generous. I mean, that's okay with them. But these are uncertain economic times, so I mean, don't spend your last dollar right now, Leo. You could still need it in the future. Okay, what does it mean to a Virgo? Well, Virgo, this is a time, Virgo, when something that you love or something that you have invested in is probably going to turn out to be pretty profitable for you and represent a significant change. And the reason why is that Venus and Uranus in Taurus are trining your sun. They're the only planets in an earth sign, and yours is an earth sign. But they're spreading all their good cheer and sort of having it head your way, Virgo. And so, at the very least, there is the possibility that you could sell one investment in order to purchase another. And that would all work out really well for you. There's also the possibility that your reliability and your careful attention to detail and your good problem-solving skills can result in some sort of financial increase in your resources, and it could come from a promotion, Virgo, because these are uncertain economic times, but there's still money around. Only the people that've got the money, they do not want to waste a dime of it right now. And so they're only willing to spend money on people that are worth it. And generally Virgo, your output in your workplace or regarding your career in some way or your community efforts is really outstanding. And you're very dedicated, and you would never let anybody down. You're a finisher. And that's what people want right now. And that's why there's a possibility that you may be offered a promotion. Now, Virgos are so modest. They never think they're perfect. But somebody else knows what they're doing, and they have the money to prove it. And if they want to give you a promotion, Virgo, you need to say yes. Because it might be an insult to their intelligence if you don't say yes. I mean, they do know what they're doing. And they also know that you know what you're doing. What better partnership could you have than that? Two people that know what they're doing. So say yes to something right now, Virgo. It would do you a world of good. And if there is the possibility that there is a dream that does not quite meet a reality test right now, and so a bubble bursts, I think actually, Virgo, over time, you're going to realize that that's okay. Because, first of all, there will be a better dream coming. But for right now, Mars in Gemini is squaring your sun, and Saturn, another malefic planet, along with Neptune in Pisces, is opposing your sun. So there's going to be a bubble burst somewhere in your life, Virgo. I don't think it's in your career. So it might be in something that you were sort of dreaming about, but it didn't pass the reality test. In time, you will be glad you found that out, so that when a better dream comes along, you'll know you're looking at something better, and you can go for that. Okay, what does it mean to a Libra? Well, Libra, this is a time, Libra, when you do have some pretty important backing right now, and the reason why is that, and it's financial backing. Because Pluto has gone into Aquarius, the sign of the future, and it's trining your sun. And Mars is still in Gemini. It's not going to stay there for very much longer, but it's still there, and it too is trining your sun. And Mars and Pluto are the rulers of Scorpio, which rules money coming in from other sources. It could even be an inheritance, or insurance proceeds, or some sort of financial benefits in one way or another. But Libra, I think they're headed your way because both Pluto and Mars are trining your sun. And so that's good. The other thing that's very good is that your ruler is Venus. And Venus rules two signs, your sign and Taurus. Well, it's in Taurus now. And it's true that whenever Venus is in either Taurus or your sign, it benefits the other sign. Okay, so it's in Taurus now, but it'll benefit your sign. Why? Because Venus rules your sign. And it's in a great place right now. It happens to be in a fixed financial sign, Taurus. That's going to benefit you. And Scorpio's rulers, and Scorpio's the other fixed financial sign, are trining each other and your sun. So Libra, somewhere in your life there's more money around. And you know, if you say, I'm not sure about that, or I don't know, well, then go and ask, because it's there somewhere. And I think that it is headed your way. Actually, I think it's been sort of kept for you. I think it's been there for a while, maybe even longer than you realize, but it's there. And if you are needing some extra money to do something, or to form a partnership, or to make a significant change in your life, just go and talk to somebody. The money's there, Libra, and you'll be able to make that significant change. Good luck. Lucky you. I wouldn't waste any time with that either, because remember I said planets are changing. Okay, well, that Mars is about to leave Gemini. I would go and talk to somebody while it's still in Gemini, because Gemini rules communication. Okay, what does it mean to a Scorpio? Scorpio. Well, Scorpio, as I mentioned at the start of this show, there are a variety of ways that people can make significant changes right now. And one of them is to have an increase in their financial resources, or to have a little more money coming in, and that's what your sign rules. So Scorpio, your rulers finally are in a good aspect to each other. And that's because Pluto has just moved into Aquarius, and it is trining Mars in Gemini. And those are both of your rulers in good aspect to each other, which they have not been for months. Pluto's been in Capricorn for years. It's been sextiling your sun. That's okay. But Mars, since last August, was in Gemini. And so, you know, Pluto and Mars weren't exactly getting together. And so now they are. And that is going to make a significant change in your life, Scorpio, because not only are your rulers in very good aspect to each other in air signs, which rule communication and the future. So this is a time when you should really be headed toward the future, Scorpio. The trouble is, yours is a fixed sign. Fixed signs don't budge. They don't change if they don't want to. But you got to be looking at progress, Scorpio. And there's going to be more money around for you. And so I'm urging you to go forward. And if a dream doesn't quite pass the reality test right now, I would say lucky you, because there will be a better dream around. And it'll be headed your way, Scorpio, anyway. And that is because for years, Saturn and Neptune in Pisces are going to be trining your sun. But now the rulers of your sign are trining each other as well. And so that simply means that there is a significant change coming up in your life, Scorpio. Okay, might not have been your idea. Maybe it's somebody else's, or maybe in these uncertain economic times, people are having to make changes with their investments or with their jobs or whatever. But still, this is a time for you to go forward maybe on your fondest dream. One that doesn't have to do anything with practicality. Maybe it's just something straight from your heart. And something that you really believe in or really love. And with both of your rulers in good aspect, if in air signs, if you communicate with others and you make an extra effort to communicate with others, it is probably going to result in increased financial resources coming your way. And with that, you can make a significant change. So, Scorpio, really think about what is your heart's desire. And that would be your foremost heart's desire. And start thinking about that. Because sometime in the next 2 to 3 years, while Saturn and Neptune are still trining your sun, that's aspected to come true for you. You know, a dream is going to turn into reality. And that would make you very happy. So this is a time with increased financial resources for you to go ahead and make some change that has to do with your future. But, you know, it's going to be a great one for you in the end. So good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Sagittarian? Sagittarius. This is a time, Sagittarius, that you can sort of do no wrong. And the reason why is that the sun, the new moon, Mercury, and Jupiter, your ruler, are in Aries trining your sun. And that means that a new beginning is going to get off the ground for you, Sagittarius. Now, this is going to be getting off the ground despite obstacles. And the obstacles could have something to do with facts that you hadn't known before. So it means that a cover-up could be revealed. And armed with that additional information, you could make a much better choice in your life right now. You could really go in a new direction. It seems as if, Sagittarius, that you probably are going to have a brilliant idea or a great suggestion that you can make right now to exactly the right people who need it. They need your good idea because they have experienced, whether they admit it or not, they have experienced past failures or goals that did not meet expectations. And they're sort of running out of good ideas. And you could just be coming along saying, you know, I have this idea. Could I run it by you? What do you think? And it could work out beautifully for you, Sagittarius. Because remember, Jupiter's right in the middle of Aries. I mean, the moon's going to move on pretty fast because it's a real fast mover. It only stays in a sign 2.5 days. But Jupiter's just at 17 degrees. It's not going to leave Aries until May. So it's going to trine your sun until then. And that's why a good idea or a great suggestion that you have, you should not waste a moment in going out and talking to people about it, because you may not realize how badly they need your good idea, Sagittarius, because they're not going to admit it, but they do need it. And they're never even going to have a chance to work with you if you don't get out and communicate with them. So you've got to promote yourself right now, Sagittarius, and you have plenty of help from this new moon yesterday. 4 planets are trining your sun, and every single one of them is a good one. But remember, Mercury's there, and Mercury is the planet of communication. So you've got to follow through, or you've got to initiate things so that a significant and very blessed change can happen for you. So go to it. Okay, what does it mean to a Capricorn? Capricorn. This is a time, Capricorn, when you can be sort of slowing down just a little bit. And the reason why, or this could be sort of a quiet period right now. And the reason why is that finally Pluto has left your sign, where it has been for years, and it's been happy in your sign because Pluto rules Scorpio, and for many years it has been sextiling the sign it rules. But now it has moved into Aquarius, and it's actually squaring the sign it rules now because it rules Scorpio. But since Pluto has moved up to Aquarius and your sign is empty, that means that you can now receive the benefit of the goodness that is coming from the planets in Taurus, which trine your sun. And it's because Venus just changed into Taurus. And that's a fixed financial sign, and it rules Taurus, so it's really in the right place. And since it's trining your sign and Uranus is trining your sign, I would say, Capricorn, that if you were sort of thinking of making an expensive purchase, the money's there, Capricorn. You could do it. I mean, Capricorns are frugal. They're careful with their money, but they have good taste. They like expensive things. They just don't like wasting their money. And so if something comes along that is of good value and it's at a fair price, you should consider it, Capricorn. Or if you're thinking of investing or even forming a company of your own, and by spending some good money right now, it could make more money for you, that would be a good investment. You'd be putting your own money on your own nose. That's pretty safe. And it's not at all risky. You know what you're doing. And so this is a time when you can make a significant change. It may have something to do with the fact that you do have the money to do it. Whatever it is, I think you whatever you're thinking about, it's not real extravagant. It's something that's worth it. And if you want to do it with Venus and Uranus and Taurus trining your sun, this is a time when you should do it, Capricorn. So it's sort of okay if you're spending your own money right now, particularly if you're spending it to promote yourself or your career ambitions, or to invest in something that will give you greater long-term security. Nothing wrong with that. So go right ahead. And also, Venus in Taurus trining your sun is, there could be a very nice gift coming your way, Capricorn. And or if you have your eye on something that's very nice, you can afford it. So it wouldn't be extravagant. You've worked long and hard in your life. You deserve a reward. You've earned it. So go right ahead, Capricorn. If you want to spend some money, which is your own money anyway, go right ahead and do it. Your judgment would be impeccable. You would be spending it on the right thing. Okay, what does it mean to an Aquarian? Well, Aquarius, this is a time when you can begin to feel your own power. And the reason why is that the planet of power is in your sign now. You know, for years, at least for the last 2.5 to 3 years, you've had Saturn in your sign, burdening you, challenging you, giving you all kinds of problems that you had to solve, or things that you had to learn to do the right way. And if you didn't do them the right way, you had to start over again and again. But you sure did a good job of that, Aquarius. You have survived. It's lucky that your sign is a fixed sign, Aquarius. It's the sign of the inventor. And inventors like to sort of, tinker with things and try them out. And they don't mind if it fails many times, as long as they can keep tinkering until it does work. So, Aquarius, your sign is known for people who have vision. And so you have vision. It rules music. And, music comes from within. It's original. It rules space. And space travel is pretty complicated, but it's also exciting and challenging. And so Aquarians are always looking at tomorrow. They're always looking at the future, at what comes next. And so now you have Pluto in your sign, and it is trining Mars in Gemini right now. These are the rulers of Scorpio, and they're in very good aspect to each other. So after 2 or 3 years of having to watch your budget pretty closely and learn a lot of new things, which you did succeed at, this is a time when there could be additional financial resources coming your way, Aquarius. And it could be through insurance proceeds. It could be through an inheritance. It could be because other people just like what you're doing. Maybe they would hire you to do it for them. Who knows? But there could be increased financial resources coming your way. And if you get some sort of offer right now, or you get a better terms on your taxes, or you get a better terms on any credit card debt you have, and you can renegotiate it in some way, I would go ahead and do that, Aquarius. Because there is some sort of financial matter that is going to work out a little bit more in your favor now than it used to. And there's even, as I said, a chance of an inheritance. So this is a time for you to be real practical about money and look around for additional resources, financial resources. I think they're around, Aquarius. You might be able to sort of pick up a little extra money right now. And, that would be great for you. So good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Pisces? Pisces. This is a time, Pisces, when a lot of people are having to face sobering reality, and so are you. And that is represented by the fact that Saturn has come into your sign, and it's the planet of sobering reality. And yours is the planet of dreams. Well, with Mars at 28 degrees of Gemini, harshly squaring Neptune, your own ruler, in your sign at 25 degrees, and squaring Saturn, another malefic planet in your sign, I would say, Pisces, that there is the possibility that a bubble could burst right now. And that bubble has something to do with a dream that doesn't really pass the reality test. In other words, as more information comes out, or a cover-up is revealed, or an imposter is about to be exposed, you could say, oh, gee, I guess they're not really what I thought they were, or they don't have the values that I really think are good. And so a bubble could burst, or a dream does not pass the reality test. And you know what, Pisces? You're going to be real glad if that happens. Now, I know that isn't pleasant, but you can get over it. And on top of that, it simply means that there's a better dream coming. There really is. Mars is at 28 degrees of Gemini now. It's on its way out really quickly, and it's going to enter Cancer, where it will begin to trine Saturn and Neptune in your sign. That's why I'm telling you, if one dream does not pass a reality test right now and a bubble bursts, okay, you could be a little sad about that, but look forward toward tomorrow, Pisces, because there is a much better dream headed your way. And it's based on reality. It's based on maybe being a little bit more realistic. In other words, you could have very concrete, basic reasons for a good dream, a better dream coming true, and it's aspected to do that. So there is something better coming. That's all I'm saying, Pisces. And I would say that the difference between the bubble that bursts or the dream that doesn't pass a reality test and the dream that's coming is that the dream that's coming is based on tried and true values. You know, it isn't based on the image of something, or it isn't based on how well somebody sells you some sort of a deal about them. It's based on more basic values of, say, truth and honor and sincerity and stuff that really represents somebody who will stand by you through thick and thin. And that kind of dream should come true for you, Pisces, because that'll get you through anything. And we don't go through life alone. We're not meant to. And so there's a better dream coming is all I'm saying. So don't look back, Pisces. Look forward. Because once Mars gets into Cancer and begins to trine Saturn and Neptune in your sign, that's when that dream is on its way. I don't know if it's going to exactly meet you right away, but it's on its way when Mars goes into Cancer and trines those planets. Okay, so thanks so much for tuning in. Remember, you can see the show on my Karen Campbell YouTube channel, and I wish you'd tell your friends about that too, because I'd love to send you that show every week on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. And you can read the weekly blog on my website, STARBORNinstitute.org. And so until next week, I'll be seeing you, and I wish you well. Thanks a lot. Bye.